Barbers, if you guys don't have an actual content strategy in 2025, what are you doing? Most barbers are still guessing on what to post, and then they're confused on why they're stuck at the same income month after month after month. My name is Bristol, and I scaled my barber business to 15K per month at just 18 years old, and now I help dozens of other barbers do the same. Barbers like Chunk, who's making over 3K per week, and Joker Cuts, who's making over 100K a year while in New York City. And guys, like I said, you don't need some crazy strategy, you just need to have a basic understanding of how marketing works. So in this video, I'm gonna break down everything for you guys. Let's get right into it. What is good, YouTube? As I said, guys, this is the only content strategy that you're ever gonna need in order to scale up to the top percent of barbers, 50K months, charging 100 a cut. And guys, why should you listen to me? Well, not only did this content strategy and understanding how content works on a deeper level work for me, right? But it also got our private clients up to over 6 figures per year. David just hit a 3K week last week while working less than 40 hours, less than a full-time job, doing over 3K per week. Just raised his prices to 100, and he's on pace to make 16 to 17K per month cutting hair. And that's just from cutting hair alone, not counting his other streams of income from barbering. And our other client, Joker Cuts, has scaled all the way from 3K to over 9K per month while cutting out of New York City. A lot of people can preach how to make content or how to make barber videos, but if you don't have the actual understanding of how content markets itself, gets new eyes onto your page, and actually converts clients, there's no point even doing it, right? Because if you don't understand something, why would you even do it? You actually have to have a deep understanding and understand for yourself your own strategy. Otherwise, you're just taking other people's word for it, right? So where does this bring me to? This brings me to something I call the barber content funnel. What is the barber content funnel? This is a good example of the barber content funnel. This is a high level overview. So this is just the basics. At the top, we have what is called engagement posts. This is the top of funnel. You want to think about it like a funnel, right? If we look up a picture of a funnel, everybody knows what a funnel is. It's something that draws people in and narrows them down, right? So again, at the top of the funnel here, we have the most amount of people, right? But as we funnel people down through our page, we're gonna slowly find out who's our actual client, right? So for a content funnel, at the top of the page, we have marketing posts, right? We have engagement posts, right? What are engagement posts? Engagement posts, like I said, are the top of funnel. Then below that, we have conversion posts. So as they go down through your page, they're gonna see the conversion posts and eventually go all the way down to the bottom of funnel where they're actually gonna click the booking link and book a haircut appointment with you. So to break all this down for you guys, the first thing we have is engagement posts. As I said, this is gonna be your top of funnel. This is gonna be what probably has people that aren't even clients or aren't even, men, women, anybody who's not your target audience, even people who aren't really targeted to get a haircut by you, they're still gonna be watching this, right? That's because these are entertainment-based posts. They're likely related to barbering, but they're applicable to anything, or they're just made for a very broad audience. They're not really made for a specific audience. And that's why they usually end up getting the most views, because these could either be vlogs / day in the lives, right? They could be skits, they could be entertainment consultations or part 1 videos, anything that's just meant to go viral and to actually be entertaining / funny. Which brings me to my first type of top of funnel. You could go with vlogs / day in the lives, right? Some things with vlogs and day in the lives is that they kind of are hard to go viral because a lot of people do them. But if they're done right, they build personal brand, build trust, and actually allow you to stand out from your competitors, right? Probably your first few aren't gonna be that good, right? You're not gonna go viral overnight, but consistency will pay off, right? If you make a series like Road to 50K or Road to 100 a cut, people are gonna tune in every day and follow your page specifically for that. So it's a very easy way to rapidly grow an audience, right? Again, these are best to post once per day, but you're actually gonna have to post twice per day. You're gonna have to post ideally another form of content on top of that. The second thing is going to be what I call entertainment consultations. And now these are different from regular consultations because a lot of people post consultations asking the same basic questions, right? But with these, they differ from usual consultations because they're not really serious, right? They don't talk about a pain point. They don't really talk about anything serious, right? The whole point of them is just to be funny, outrageous, and just entertaining, right? A lot of times they have a crazy hook, super controversial, and these are the ones that do tens of millions of views because they're not necessarily about a specific pain point like a traditional consultation. They're literally just meant to be funny. And so these can be fully scripted, follow out a script, right? A lot of the times a client looks crazy or is just funny on camera and they just follow a script. So these could be super scripted and they're meant to just blow up and do millions of views, right? The last main successful type of engagement posts are part 1 videos. I'm sure you guys have seen the AI voiceover videos, the part 1 videos going crazy, going viral. And again, it's kind of the same idea. They have a crazy hook, they have a controversial story with a cliffhanger at the end, and they usually will say comment for part 2 to just easily farm comments and engagement, feeding the loop and eventually just causing more and more people to like, comment, follow, and then it's eventually just gonna keep blowing up, right? So these are all the main, most successful things that you can post for engagement as your top of funnel as a barber, right? So people are going to be scrolling and they're likely going to be, this is going to be the first impression of you and your page when people are scrolling. What's the second thing? The mid funnel, right? So people are scrolling, and then they're going to click on your page and they're going to see this other content. And now this is mid funnel because people might see this while scrolling, but it's much more likely that their first impression of you is going to be an engagement post, right? So once we break them down to the mid funnel, maybe they go on your page and they see some other content that looks interesting, or maybe they give you a follow and this pops up right away, right? These could really either be consultations or voiceovers. So these are going to be the traditional consultations where there's a story, hook, but there's also going to be a problem and a solution, and they're going to talk about pain points, the client, right? They're going to talk about what event they have coming up. It's not really going to be scripted. These are going to be pretty organic, and they're going to build trust with people, right? You're meant to showcase your personality, put your face out there on camera, right? And actually just build trust with clients and show that you actually are the expert in your field, right? You know what you're talking about. And again, usually the client is coming in with a specific problem or a specific haircut that they want you to fix, right? Maybe they have flat hair, maybe they're tired of getting pushed back, but you're going to specifically cover the pain point in that consultation and why you are a specialist in their area, why you can actually fix the problem that they're struggling with, right? Again, these voiceovers are going to be pretty similar to consultations. They're going to have a pain point, they're going to have a hook, and they're going to go over exactly what you did to solve the problem. Usually the pain point needs to be introduced within the first 3 seconds on these voiceovers. So that means that you need to illustrate or explain what the client is struggling with within the first 3 seconds, and they need a strong hook. Lately, there's been a new type of content as well that combines both of these. It combines elements from a consultation, elements from a voiceover, same thing, strong hook, and you just include aspects of both. So some clips are going to be voiceover clips where you don't show your face, and then you're going to take clips of the client talking from the consultation instead of you voicing it over. So it's going to go back and forth. Lastly, this quickly brings us to the bottom of the funnel, right? And this is where things get a little tricky. This is where people are actually going to book in with you, right? So before doing any bottom funnel, you actually need to ask yourself, do you have a good product? Do your haircuts look sharp? Is your service high quality? And do your haircuts actually look good on camera? And more importantly, are you marketing one thing or are you marketing to everybody? Do you have an ideal client in mind? Do you have one specific area of your barbering skill set that you are specializing in? Is it texture? Is it shear work? Is it styling? Is it the way you do the C cup or the way you do the lineup? The way you line up the beard, right? Are you specializing in one area? That's going to be the biggest thing into actually converting one of these people that makes it all the way through the funnel into the client, right? These posts up here, the consultations, they're kind of to nurture people, right? Because a lot of people are going to follow from these top of funnel posts, but they might not book in an appointment until they've seen your page for a while, right? You're going to get a lot of clients that say that they've been watching you for a while and they finally decided to book in. They might have been following or watching you for months, right? Some people just need more trust or a good enough reason to leave their current barber because, again, people need a very good reason on why they're going to leave their barber, right? Some people need a stronger reason than others because some people have a good barber, right? And you might be a more expensive barber too, so you really have to get into the pain. You really have to get into why they should leave their current barber to go to you, and it's going to be a lot harder for some other people to justify that. Back to the bottom of the funnel. You need to ask yourself, is your profile optimized? And what do I mean by that? Do you have your location in your bio, right? Do you have a professional profile picture? And the biggest thing is, when people click on your booking link, is it taking them to a website, right? Or is it making them download the Cut, Booksy, Square, whatever it is it making them download an app? The reason is if you're making them download an app, it's going to be a ton of more friction versus just allowing people to quickly book on a website with 2 or 3 clicks, right? You're adding a lot more steps. So obviously most of you guys should have your profile optimized by now. Again, location, profile picture, booking link, that's really all you need, right? If your profile is optimized, the biggest thing is having CTAs. Now, what is a CTA? A CTA is a call to action. That means that you're saying, book haircut now, limited spots available. You never want to say, I'm wide open for the week. You want to tell people that you have limited spots and that you're a scarcity, right? You're creating scarcity. So limited spots for the week, last minute haircuts for today, right? Even if you're not booked, you need to tell people that. That's an easy little trick in order to actually create demand. So lastly, with the CTA, right, you want to have your description with the link in bio and location. So when you post your showcases, they need to be posted on your story daily. There should be no reason why you can't post a 5-second clip of a haircut on your story daily with the booking link right there, making it super easy for the client. And again, if you just put a few more spots left for today, almost booked for this week, most of the time people are going to book in. And this is where majority of your new clients are going to come from, right? Even if we go all the way through the top of funnel and they just click on your profile, they don't even have to watch a consultation, right? If we just skip, they might go straight. They might skip. They might go straight from a part 1, just click on your profile and really like the haircut that they see. And that just allows them to end up booking an appointment right away, if the showcase is strong enough and the CTA is done well. A different type of CTA is at the end of your consultations, you can have something with a client testimonial, right? You can have the client saying, if you're located in wherever, go to this barber. Or if you're not getting cut by Segura, what are you doing? right? Something like that, that's a reminder for people to book in. Your CTA should also be in your description. You should have the location and you should say link in bio to book an appointment. Everything should be reminding them to check that link in bio or to check the link to actually book an appointment. It needs to be everywhere, right? Even at the end of a before and after, you can put a pop-up CTA with your location and then at the bottom say link in bio to book. So for example, DMV, if you're in the DMV area, book a haircut, link in bio, right? You can say that in a voiceover, you can have the client say it in a consultation, or you can just pop it up with text on a before and after. But all of your mid to bottom of funnels need to have CTAs both in the video and also in the description. And again, these daily stories with the CTA should be retargeting your current followers or be broadcasted to new followers, right? And again, is a showcase strong and is there a booking link? Are you creating scarcity? If you are, you should have no problem actually taking people from just being a random doom scroller to somebody who's actually in your area that's an actual client. And again, this strategy is going to filter through who's your client, who's not meant to be your client, right? Maybe they're not in your area. Maybe they're not getting a haircut of what you specialize in. Maybe they're not for your price point. This is going to filter all of them out and actually narrow down who you're trying to cut, because you don't want to be trying to cut everybody, right? A lot of barbers, they're out here, they're trying to cut everybody's hair. You want to market to one specific person and actually have the client that you want to cut. By having the right strategy, you're going to ensure that you're cutting the people that you actually want to cut, right? You're cutting the client that you specialize in versus the other way around. You're doing things on your time and not theirs. Just to quickly run a quick example for you guys on Cut by Segura, right? Let's say I'm somebody who's just doom scrolling and I come across one of these viral part 1 videos, right? I click on this.
Part 1, 20-year-old nerd is hiding from his crush because he got rejected at school in front of everyone.
He has worth his piggy bank here because he wants people to actually comment their opinions, right? And then he also has the call to action with the bio, link in bio to book, right? So let's say I see this and I comment, or, right, I go up here, appointments, tap the link below, right? I'm reminded of the booking link in the description here as well. And then if I click on his story, the first thing I see is the booking link. It's in my face all the time. The booking link is always showing up, right? Let's say, however, I follow him and the first video I see on my feed is this. And let's say that I'm actually someone who gets this haircut and this is the haircut that I've been looking for. He says right here again, link in bio, right? And I like the haircut. And he literally has the CTA, right? I know he's in my area. I'm in Springfield. I'm looking to get this exact haircut. He's the barber for me, right? Just like that, I'm booking an appointment, right? So for some people, they might follow you and see these, and it's going to take a little bit longer in order for them to become from a viewer to a client. Some people, they might just see the story and they might not have a good barber, and so they're automatically just going to go to you. That pretty much breaks up the entire barber content funnel, guys. I hope you guys learned something. Peace out. So if you guys want to know exactly how we scale up all these barbers using these exact systems, I really do this, guys. Book a call, link in bio, see if we can help you out. You already know what to do.